Welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Seal Stanford, and this is my colleague, Raul Rivera. Please say hello, Raul.
Hey, hello, Seal, and hello, everybody. Just really happy to be here with you today.
It's great to be doing this call with you. So, we're going to talk about accomplishments, and I really love this subject because accomplishment is connected to how big of a payoff you can have, how big of a win you can let yourself have. And a lot of that is going to be connected to you being able to permeate and really own and have what you want. And so for those of you who have never looked up the word permeate, I would suggest that you get a great dictionary and look up that word. You can go to onelook.com. It's free. There'll be about 17 dictionaries there for you. So check that out. But before we get started, I want to just ask you to please type in live if you're watching this live. And if you're not, you're watching as replay, type in replay. We would really appreciate it. The other thing is we will have a handout at the end of this call. So if you'd like that download, just type the word accomplishment. We'll make sure that you get it. So accomplishment, again, it goes back to how big of a win can you let yourself have? How big of a reward can you let yourself have? And I was just out this week. I spent 4 days. I had the honor of spending 4 days at the High Performance Salon Academy owned by Jason Everett and Doug Campbell. Oh my God, man, they put on such a phenomenal event. And there were about 400 people, salon owners and their teams at this event. And I just got to hear win after success, and was blown away at the wins these people are having from the training that they're doing. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because nothing is more important or more precious to every being than their wants and their dreams and their aspirations. And, you know, it was interesting because a lot of times we have tears when we're upset, you know, when we're mad and we feel like we're stopped and we can't do anything. But what also happens when people start getting into the dream area and the things they're accomplishing and their successes, and then, you know, accomplishing things they never dreamed possible, a lot of times that turns on a lot of tears. And it's just tears from, you know, the positive, tears of finally getting there, tears of celebration, and, you know, being able to accomplish things you never dreamed possible. That's no small feat, if you will. Raul, do you have anything you want to add about that?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, and I just love what you just described, Seal, because that's really what we want, right? I mean, we have those dreams, and then we have those goals and aspirations, right? And we get it done, right? We do whatever we need to do to really get that. And sometimes it's heartbreaking to see people like really getting those goals, really getting what they want out of life. But then sometimes I've seen people that they just have to work in their ability to have that.
Yeah.
To really own that, right? Because I mean, it's such a work, it's such an effort, right? It takes time. It is a process. Finally, they got it. But then if their accomplishment it's low, it's almost like they cannot have it. And obviously, if they don't allow themselves to have it or stay there, then they start to go down. So that's what I said. To me, it's such an ability to have that so that you can stay there, so that you can stay green zone, so that you can really set that like your new normal, like a green zone life, right? Uptrending. But you have to allow yourself to have it. It's not about, I mean, it's great when people is acknowledging and, you know, giving like positive process, but it's more about you, like really acknowledging yourself, allowing yourself to have it. So that was coming to view as I was listening to you, Seal.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, Raul, you bring up a very, very interesting point, because as I was listening to a lot of these wins and a lot of these successes this week, you know, a lot of times those wins and successes will, that puts a person in the zone, right place, right time, doing the right things with the right people. And it goes back to that ability to be able to have those wins, to be able to own those wins. And if you're not able to really have those and own those, then the negative side can kick in. And I saw that, and I see that with our clients. And it's like, sometimes we forget as coaches, right? It's like, I'll see all this success that a person's having, but their attention is fixated over here on one negative, right? And then it's like, sometimes I have to do a double take, like, wait a minute. I have to look, and I'm like looking at all the success the person has had, because a positive can trigger the negative, right? We process a positive and the negative comes to view. Well, if you're not, this goes back to owning that success, owning those accomplishments. And so in that situation I just described, I'm like, wait a minute, did you just have a lot of success? Because that's in the ascension area, right? Which we know is being in the zone. And if you can't have it, then a lot of times your attention will easily get trapped over here in the negative. And so it's very important to be able to have that ability to have. And you gave me a really good question that a person could ask themselves. Why don't you share that? Because that was very, very helpful. You sent that to me this week, because I was like, there's been a lot of success. What can you share to someone that's had a lot of success, accomplished a really big dream and goal, to help them have this and start to own it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it could be like one or two basic questions, but just like, what part of that success or accomplishment are you willing to have? Another one could be, so what part of that success or what part of that accomplishment are you willing to own?
Yeah.
It's like, I
Yeah.
really love those two questions. There's more, but I would say those are so basic, but really powerful when you're like in that state.
Okay, guys, so make sure that you write down those two questions, because that's not going to be on the worksheet. This is just a golden nugget that Seal Stanford decided to throw in here. So make sure you get that. So thanks, Raul, for that. So yeah, so the first thing is to recognize. Another thing is, if you start feeling bitchy, this is not going to be on the worksheet either. If you start feeling bitchy, okay, and it's not always because somebody's ticked you off. If you start feeling bitchy and cranky and all that kind of behavior, take a look and see if you've had some really big accomplishments that you've made. It may just be one accomplishment, but you didn't recognize. It's kind of like just bypassing it. Okay, you're gonna feel cranky with yourself. So that is one of the telltale signs. A lot of times when you've actually accomplished something, had a big success, had a big win, and you've not acknowledged it. So anything else you want to add on that?
Yeah, so the other thing that was coming to mind for me with this accomplishment is just that if you really own it, because that's something you got it, right? You got the goal, you got your dream, whatever you wanted. If you own it, if you have it, then you can set up the next level of the game, the next goal,
Yes.
the next dream, right? It keeps you reaching up. Whereas if you don't own it, it's probably the fear of losing the game or the fear,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking as well.
So I want to say one more thing before we end this call, because it's a very important point. If you lose your dream, usually you've run into something that has negatively processed you. And what I mean by negative process is there's two processes in life, negative or positive. When something is taking you away from your dreams and you want, that is a negative process. When something's taking you closer to your dreams and you want, that is a positive process. If you lose interest in what you want and the direction you're going toward that success, that just means that somewhere something has been negative. Losing interest. Excuse me. Here's another golden nugget. Man, we're getting a lot of golden nuggets today. Here's another question. Get back in touch with your dreams and your goals and your wants. And if you are not interested in them, what you need to do is look at and see, when were you interested? Because I guarantee you something somewhere happened that caused you not to be interested. So with that, I think it's time to end off. And again, if I were you, I would write down these questions because they're not on the handout that or the download that we're going to be giving today. This is stuff that Raul and I just decided to pass along to you today because we're live and we can do that. Any other comment?
Yeah, I love that because we're live and we decided to do that. I love it. So
That's
no,
right.
thank you,
And
Sheila.
it's unscripted. It's unscripted. So have a great week and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much.